Hi guys and dolls, today I'm going to be sharing with you some secrets and tips on how to cover textured acne or kind of rough acne, any kind of lip acne. Let's face it, those are really horrible. Why are the ones around the lip like always so painful? I don't know. I don't know about you guys, but when I have a really bad zit, I just can't help but pluck it or like pick it. I know that's bad. I know you're not supposed to do it, and I should be telling you guys never ever pop a zit. We're all guilty of it. Unfortunately, part of the aftermath of popping a zit, or even sometimes if you don't pop it, and sometimes just the healing process, it becomes kind of scabby and flaky and really gross, and it's so much more difficult to cover that kind of texture versus covering just a smooth zit, which is why I do try to recommend that you don't pop at acne if you can help it. Sometimes you just can't help it, and I had one recently on my lip. In fact, it's still in the healing process, and it was just so bad. So I actually filmed a little segment of me covering it. And this advice I'm going to be giving you is also good for covering cold sores and things like that. So what I do is I start out with a lip balm. I put it all over my lips because, that just feels good. And then I'll put it over wherever I have the acne. So in this case, I had one right here on my lip line, but I would do the same thing if it's a zit on the cheek or right here, right there, right there. If it has that texture, you want to soften the skin. And so if you have another type of like super deep hydrating, moisturizer, you can use that as well. I just used the lip balm because it was easy, because it was, near the lip, and I was just like, done. I let that soak in for a couple of minutes just to soften the skin, and then I'll wipe it away with a tissue. Now this next step is also something that's kind of crazy. I use an eye cream on my zits. I use the Fast Response Eye Cream from MAC, and the reason why I have been loyal to this product for about 7 years now is because it has caffeine in it, which helps to depuff. So it's great for under eyes, and it's also great for acne when you have inflamed skin. It's going to reduce some of that swelling and take the redness down a notch as well. Now the reason why I also recommend this is because it has a silicone texture. Now when I say it has a silicone texture, I don't mean that it's the same thing as like these primers that have silicones in it. This has a very smooth texture. It's meant to fill in the lines under the eye. That kind of sounds creepy, but it's meant to smooth out the texture under the eye. And so it's going to smooth out the texture of that rough acne, any kind of flaky skin. What I do is I apply a very generous amount and sort of pat it on, let it soak in for a few minutes, and then smooth it out to remove whatever excess, but don't actually try to wipe it away. Just sort of smooth it all out and make it smooth like lotion. Baby, rub it down and make it smooth like lotion. Yes, I know that he's always choosing. With him I'm never losing, and he knows that my name is not Susan. And then of course you're going to conceal it, and I have a couple of concealers here that I recommend. You want something that has very good coverage. So some of the ones that I like are like the OCC Conceal, Makeup Forever Full Coverage Foundation or Concealer, and my personal favorite is the Pro Longwear Concealer. I just love this stuff. It's very long lasting. It doesn't matter which one you use though, as long as it has really good coverage. You'll want to place it on the acne, and place it on the acne, that just sounds weird. Put it over the zit, leave it on for a second, and then blur the edges and just try to smooth it out and leave it alone. Don't touch it, set it with powder, and just walk away. Now the most important thing to do when you have a lip zit is what you do to one side you need to do to the other. So even though this side doesn't have any acne, I used a little bit of concealer on that area just so they would match, and then you don't even notice. Now if you're covering a zit on your cheek, you wouldn't necessarily need to do it here, but just because the lip area gets a lot of attention with colorful lip products and whatnot, you might want to do the other side as well. Another recommendation would be, while the lip zit is healing, use a lip color like this that's a little more natural. In my temperature rising video, I ended up going for like a super bright lip color because that's what I had planned, but that was one of the reasons why it kept getting messy on me, because I kept having to redo the concealer portion. I hope this is helpful for those of you who have questions about covering textured acne. I know it's a little bit of a beast, but once you master it, especially if you're a makeup artist, it's one of the best tools that you can have. I hope you're having a fantastic day, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Remember to be vintage or tacky. Just be yourself. Bye. So a couple of weeks ago I was going on vacation, and I wanted to figure out a way to travel with, some MAC eyeshadows, some other brand eyeshadows, and it was just really frustrating because I didn't want to have to bring the MAC palette and bring the Z palette and bring this. I wanted to simplify and just bring one Z palette and have my blush in there, my eyeshadows, just really easy. But I was still running into that problem where like the MAC stuff just wouldn't stick in there very well, and I didn't have like enough things in there to like squish it in. So I came up with something that I think is kind of genius. I don't know, maybe this is like obvious to everyone else but me.